The Tactical Aviation Group Medium Transport Squadron moves combat troops, equipment, supplies, and personnel for tactical, combat support, and combat service support operations. The assignment of a medium transport squadron to the division is normally made by Corps to support logistics operations. The GOTPS Tactical Aviation Group places medium transport helicopters in support of the division service group, and the squadron provides a liaison officer to the Disc Group Logistics Operations Center. The squadron is organized into a headquarters, 2 aircraft flights, a maintenance flight, and an administrative flight. It is capable of deploying as a self-contained unit and carries a 3-day basic load of combat supplies, including aviation fuel. The squadron headquarters is manned and equipped to provide command, control, and communications functions. The aircraft flights have sufficient crews and equipment to provide continuous aviation support. The aircraft maintenance flight is manned and equipped to provide first and second line maintenance for its own aircraft, including mobile repair teams and some workshop support. The administration flight is capable of providing first line administrative support in terms of supply, medical, food services, transport, and vehicle repair activities. The squadron personnel complement includes pilots, flight engineers, loadmasters, aircraft technicians, and combat service support personnel. Its equipment includes 8 medium transport helicopters and 50 wheeled vehicles of various types. When elements of the squadron are deployed in support of division taskings, their communications rearwards to the squadron are effected through their LO at located Disc Group headquarters or through the area trunk system. When operating forward, individual helicopters join a local net at their destination LZ. The squadron normally deploys in the Corps administrative area, but may relocate forward within the DAA if it proved to be the best location from which to carry out its tasks. The effectiveness of the medium transport helicopter on the battlefield depends on adequate planning, proper tasking, and appropriate operational techniques. Its use in the forward area must be considered in view of subsequent risk of loss of a valuable transport resource. Various limitations must be kept in mind when planning the employment of the medium transport helicopter in the forward brigade areas. These include staying far enough away from the forward edge of the battle area to be out of detection or engagement range of enemy air defense guns or anti-aircraft missiles. Not flying into a landing zone which is under enemy observation and where their field artillery could be used. Not normally flying across the FIBA. Likely requirement for Pathfinder support, and designing the loads for minimum unloading time and for cross-loading if required to utility helicopters. Additionally, the MTH would only be used in the follow-up phase of an air mobile operation. With its instrument flight capability and the appropriate electronic navigation and approach aids, the medium transport helicopters can operate in darkness and in instrument conditions. Aircraft must operate within the constraints imposed by the airspace control system, which, when combined with the effects of difficult weather, can produce a considerable slowdown in the flow of supplies. When flying in the division rear area, crews will generally use low-level flying techniques. Here, the pilot flies at low altitude to avoid detection or observation. The route generally follows a straight line, maintaining a constant altitude to clear the highest en route point. Direct low-level routing is coordinated by the aviation staff in the airspace and fire support coordination centers at all levels. It is used from the core area to landing zones forward of the division or brigade rear boundaries. Execution of the primary role of the squadron requires that its control and direction be delegated to Disc Group headquarters, and that the squadron be integrated into the transportation system. This provides a guarantee of support to the logistics planner and ensures that the helicopters are employed as a complementary transport resource without tasking delays and eliminating conflicting priorities. Proper employment of medium transport helicopters is based on the presence of a Squadron LO at Disc Group headquarters, and by selection and identification of missions that, based on the tonnages involved, are suitable for movement by air. The majority of logistics tasks suitable for helicopter lift, such as the movement of combat supplies, defense stores, and vehicle recovery, are controlled through the Disc Group Log Ops Center. Aircraft allocations to tasks are made by a block of hours, not by individual aircraft. When undertaking support to specific tactical operations, disruption factors must be built into the overall logistics plan. The extent and consequences of this disruption must be considered before assigning tactical operations tasks. In any type of activity, its pilots must be well briefed on enemy locations, routes, and the air situation. Normal operations will see the medium transport helicopters working between the core administrative area and the DAA. In urgent situations, resupply for such critical items as ammunition, fuel, and engineer stores can be made directly to service battalion locations and even to gun positions or rear echelons. Resupply of ammunition and fuel will constitute the major portion of the medium transport helicopter's tasks. These loads are ideally suited for standard load configurations using pallets, nets, or bladders. Other tasks involve helicopter support to relocate and resupply the forward arming and refueling points. The transport helicopter is also an excellent vehicle for the quick deployment of 105 towed gun detachments. One medium transport helicopter can lift 3 gun detachments, complete with 100 rounds of ammunition. Defense stores and mines will be in heavy demand. The medium transport helicopter is an ideal vehicle for the rapid transport of these items, as well as moving or relocating bridging. The medium transport helicopter has the capability for mass casualty evacuation. It can be quickly fitted with up to 24 litters. Aircraft returning from the division administrative area can provide a ready resource for aeromedical evacuation to core medical units. It is also an excellent resource for the recovery of downed aircraft and critical equipment. These activities involve a minimum of load preparation and ground support. During battle, the medium transport helicopter is a valuable lift resource in support of anti-armor, air mobile, and rear area security operations. Here, their optimum use is to carry follow-up echelons, support weapons, and essential resupply items. The maintenance flight concentrates on quick turnaround repairs, which assure a high degree of aircraft availability. This is accomplished by component exchange of items such as avionics, engines, transmissions, and the like. Spares for these activities are provided by Corps directly to the maintenance flight. They may also be funneled through the replenishment system to the spare parts section of the appropriate maintenance squadron. Aircraft requiring extensive repairs are backloaded to core maintenance facilities. Early recognition of the airlift requirement is essential to allow the best response in terms of mission planning and preparation of the loads to be transported. As an alternative to surface transport, medium transport helicopters can provide added combat flexibility by rapidly moving combat supplies and, if necessary, combat elements over broad areas that may be impassable or difficult for vehicles.